Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I have realized it has been way too long since I've done an updated mage guide for you in patch 8.25? Is that the patch? What patch is it? Let me know what patch it is. Is it 8.25? Next patch is 8.3? That has to be right. That sounds right. Updated mage guide. All of this information is going to get you up to date on how to play mage in PvP right now. So if you're watching this in 6 months from now or a year from now, well, you're out of luck, all right? Because it's probably changed. Let's hop into game. I'm going to be going over talents, Azurite traits, necklace, everything, trinket usage, etc., and everything that I'm doing right now to be these ratings. Boom! Let's hop into it. High Warlord Czar, all right, the classic inspired transmog. First thing you need to focus on, as always here in this mage guide, is getting your transmog on point. You got to look good. You got to dress to impress, all right? You got to wear your best outfit if you want to push rating in arenas. So right now, since Classic's been out, a lot of people have been playing Classic. We went with the full High Warlord set, all right? The rank 14 title transmog looking good. All right, so moving into the actual guide. We're memeing, boys. We're dicking around at the start of this video today. Searing Touch, Shimmer, Incanter's Flow, Flame On, Ring of Frost, Living Bomb, Meteor. It's going to be the quickest guide ever because, you know why? The last 5 mage guides I've done have had this exact same talent layout, all right? That's not where things have really changed, too much at least. So we're going to keep that the same. Do I ever change any of these? I don't think I do. I think there's an argument to be made for Pyromaniac instead of Searing Touch if you want. I don't think it's necessary, though, at all. I think Searing Touch, for me, helps me finish people off more often than not. Casting Scorch below 30% health is a thumbs up, so I like Searing Touch. But other than that, that's what I'm going with. PvP talents. This is where it starts getting tricky. Always play Gladiator's Medallion if you're not a human, because you want to be able to pair Medallion with Temporal Shield, of course, for the big defensive usage there, Trinket Temp. But if you're human, you could opt to play Relentless, so you can still use your human Trinket with Temp Shield, and then play Relentless, so you have less CC incoming onto you. I would say pretty much never play Adaptation. I don't know why people still pick this talent. It's not that good. When I'm out in World PvP killing some noobs for some honor points, I see people with Adaptation. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Medallion, maybe Relentless if you're human. That's about that. Okay, G-Pie. I always lock in G-Pie because I think it's a good talent to get kicks out of the way, even if you never actually land a G-Pie in PvP. So I always just lock in G-Pie. I never unlock it in. That's my preference. I know some mages don't like to do that. Actually, just side note before I even go further into this guide, a lot of people, hey, Xaryu, is Fire the best? Is Frost the best? Is Arcane the best? They're all 3 good. If I had to rank them, I would say Frost is the best, then Fire, then Arcane. But they're all 3 rank 1 viable. You can see all 3 in tournaments. So for the purpose of this video, they're all 3 really good specs. All right, hopping back in the video. I just like Fire because that's a lot of bursts, man. Lots of bursts, and I find that very fun. G-Pie, always locking in. Now, the rest of the 2 talents are going to depend on your neck essence. If you're playing Conflict and Strife, you're as a major essence, then you get Temporal Shield baseline, which means you don't need Temp Shield in your talent spec, which means you could play something else like Klepto against a Druid, Priz Cloak. We'll talk more about that. But first, we're going to be talking about your PvP talent selection if you are not playing Conflict and Strife as a major. Reason being, I have not been using it very often as a major. I've been using Conflict and Strife as a minor more often than not, believe it or not. So if I'm with Crucible, that means I'm always locking in Temp Shield, always locking in Temp Shield and G-Pie. Now this third talent, I'll switch to Kleptomania versus a Restoration Druid, so I could spell seal all the hots. I'll also switch to Klepto versus Rogue Mage Paladin. I've actually been doing that a bit more frequently. I was not doing this in the past, but now I have been, so I can get that quick Klepto spell steal on the goes. I've been going Klepto against, a lot of Mage Druid teams, or if I'm playing Mage Druid against a Mage Paladin, Klepto is just a really good choice here. If I'm not fighting a Druid, I like to go with Tinder. The reason I play with Tinder is because it's a fast cast fireball that gives me the benefit of Flames of Alacrity. Now, Flames of Alacrity is going to give me haste, about 10% haste on all of my fireballs, right? So I'll be able to be able to just play a lot quicker. This is where I want to put a big asterisk on the video, guys. Big asterisk here, okay? A lot of mages that are fire, I'm going to nod to this and just say a lot of mages that are fire are playing a different build right now. And I'm also going to share that build with you because this is just the way I play with the triple flames of alacrity. With Tinder, I use fireball only when Tinder's up, get a bit of extra damage, and I get the haste. I play quicker. I get more G-Pies, get more polys. That's how I play mage. However, a lot of people are playing with triple Blaster Master instead, okay? Triple Blaster Master and Wildfire instead of Flames of Alacrity, which means you would not then pick Tinder, okay, because you're not casting fireballs. And then with the Triple Blaster Master build, you would be playing with the Bracers instead of, you know, whatever bracers you have. You'd be playing with the Bracers from Mechagon. What are they called? Hyper Thread Wraps. I think that actually is right. Hyper Thread Wraps. Oof, insane memory there, Czar. Let's look at this. Last boss, King Mechagon. Oh, no, I was wrong, actually. Hyper Thread Wrist Wraps, in fact. And then what they'll do is stack Blaster Master on their chest or shoulders and their helm. They'll do Fire Blast, or they put down the meteor, then they'll do Fire Blast, Combustion, Pyro, Fire Blast, Pyro Blast, Pyro Blast, then use the Bracers to get more Fire Blast. They can continue doing that same Fire Blast, Pyro Blast rotation. Now, I don't opt for this playstyle. I'd rather have my static stats. And I don't, like you guys know, hashtag late combustion. I don't like to do combust until I'm getting the kill. But this is a very, very good playstyle that I don't personally do, but you guys can do if you want. Now, if you're playing with the wrist wraps and you're playing with Triple Blaster Master on your traits, don't play Tinder. Instead, actually, you have the kind of this slot open. So you could play Controlled Burn. You could play Flame Cannon. You could play Priz Cloak, or if it's against a Druid, you would play Kleptomania. I think all of these things have value. They have a bit of merit. I would say that is okay. Also, a quick side note, if you are playing with the Triple Blaster Master Bracer non-Tinder setup, I would also consider playing with Lucid Dreams as a primary. So you could pop Lucid Dreams and then one-shot, and then pop your Bracers and continue to one-shot. It's a very, very powerful offensive setup. I don't play like that very often, though. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to talk about how I like to play. So Crucible of Flame primary, unless I'm fighting a Rogue Mage Paladin. If I'm fighting an RM Paladin, I swap to Conflict Major Crucible Minor. Now, in this case, I have a little bit less damage, but I'm going to be a bit tankier, so I'll be able to survive. In addition, I'm going to get Temp Shield baseline with Conflict and Strife Major Essence, so I can swap my secondary Essence to Klepto, is usually what I do against Rogue Mage. If for some reason I wasn't feeling Klepto, though, or it was maybe against an RM Priest where I didn't want to, I would go Prismatic Cloak in the situation. So Priz Cloak helps me survive a little bit. Klepto will help me be a bit more offensive. In either case, you have the Temp Shield baseline, and I still like to play with that Triple Flame. So this is the build I play against maybe an RM Pala right here, and then maybe this would be against RM Priest. But Crucible as that major against most compositions, okay, which gives me just a bit more pressure, a bit more damage, even a little bit more burst when I have that rank 3 flame up, okay? So Crucible of Flame as that major essence there, and with that Crucible of Flame major essence, boom, we just lock back in Temp Shield. So it's going to be G-Pi, Tinder, Temp. This is like kind of my baseline spec right now. Okay, so you guys kind of know what essences I'm running with, my normal talents, my PvP talents. Let's look at the gearing just a little bit. I am going with 28% haste baseline and 13% verse. This is maybe one of my best geared mages. I have a couple mages. This is my main high warlord Czar, all right? And I'm going with haste, primary, verse, second, mastery, third, crit, fourth. So haste, verse, mastery, crit. The magic number I've been liking for haste is about 28%. It means that I can DB sheep relentless targets without them being able to break it. Meaning if a priest is relentless, I can DB, which is Dragon's Breath. I can Dragon's Breath and then sheep that priest without them having a chance to use Premonition, or previously known as Shadow or Death, onto that polymorph for it to break. So 28% is about the number that I have been liking there on my mage. If you want to go up to 30%, I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. But if you're only at 24%, 25%, I would say that's maybe a little bit too low, playing a little bit too sluggish. From there, versatility gives you almost the same amount of damage as mastery. I think it might be slightly less or about the same, but versatility has the added effect that gives you the decreased damage taken. It makes you a bit tankier, right? It means you can take a bit more damage, meaning Verse is going to give you a lot of damage, but it's also going to make you tankier, especially when it's paired with Conflict and Strife Major Essence against Rogue Mage. So that's why Verse comes in second. Mastery comes in third because it's still pretty good. And Crit comes in dead last as the Fire Mage, contrarily to popular belief, because Fire Blast already has a 100% chance to crit. When you have Combust up, you already have a 100% chance to crit. And when you're Scorching under 30%, you already have a 100% chance to crit. There's just everything has high crit chance, so it kind of, in a PvP situation, when you're just doing damage and burst goes, or you're just getting cheap highs, crit is your least effective stat in PvP. Quick looking over my trinkets. So a lot of people have been asking about trinkets and what's the best. I think the best is probably Voodoo Doll, but I don't have it. It's pretty rare to get, so I just use the Maledict 435 with the socket. It's decent. If you can run Underrot against one of these bosses, this one, Rot Crusted Voodoo Doll is going to be tons of burst. If you can get this trinket, it's best in slot if you can get it to higher item level than your Maledict. For example, if I got a 440 Voodoo Doll, I'd probably use that over the Maledict. If I got a 445, I would certainly use it over the Maledict. But if you have a 415 Voodoo Doll versus a 435 Maledict, I'd say still use the Maledict. So use whatever one's higher item level, but I would say that the Doll is slightly better for your offensive trinket. Now, for your defensive trinket, once again, I don't have the best in slot. I'm running with a Safeguard, but I think right now, I don't know if I have one on my bank, the Battle Master is actually best in slot, mainly because they nerfed Safeguard to 3 minutes. And you can purge the Safeguard effect, and Battle Master is 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, and you cannot purge Battle Master. So Battle Master is just going to give you more overall value right now. I actually have the 430 Doll here, but this is 435 socketed, so it's not quite as good. I don't have a Battle Master, I don't think, in my bank. So ideally, Battle Master and Doll, if you have those, that would be great. You want to play Haste Verse. I'm still playing Torn of Elements as my enchant on my weapon. And then 60 haste enchants on my rings. But if you have 28% haste already baseline, maybe your gear's a bit better than mine, you have higher item level, then you could also start gemming and enchanting versatility once you hit that haste breakpoint. So yeah, guys, I think this is pretty much everything you need to know about current Mage in World of Warcraft. Patch 825, that has to be right. Crucible of Flame, Conflict, and Lucid. Most of the games, Conflict and Strife against RM Pal, or Rogue Mage Mirrors. Just a quick update on what compositions I'm running in 2s. I'm running a lot of Rogue Mage. Yeah, just Rogue Mage in 2s. That's pretty much it. I basically play because I have fun with it. It's not the greatest comp in the world, but I have a lot of fun with it. And in 3s, I'm running a lot of RM Pala with Born Good and Peekaboo. And I think it's a great comp. I think other good comps, if you don't want to run RM Pala, are Rogue Mage Druid, Rogue Mage Priest, and then Mage Warlock, Mage Destruction Warlock, and Resto Druid. Those are probably all my favorite comps right now. So basically, MLD or RMX are just really, really, really good compositions right now in the metagame. And I'm just trying to think besides that. I think you guys are all up to date. I just get a lot of questions about, hey, Xaryu, like, how do I play Mage right now? And my last guide was a little bit out of date on the essences, a little bit out of date on some of the gearing. But yeah, it's pretty much what I do. Just to reiterate, guys, with Tinder, I'm only casting Fireball for that haste, right? I'm not just spamming there, trying to get those Flames of Alacrity haste stacks up. I'm not wasting time. I'm just throwing out Tinder Fireball every time I have it. I have a weak aura for it. It's over my head. Throw out that quick Fireball. Hope it doesn't crit, right? That's why my crit chance being low actually helps. Getting that extra amount of haste makes me play a bit quicker, and that's about it, right? So I just wanted to reiterate, I'm not just sitting there casting Fireball because I have that Flames of Alacrity. And Wildfire is that second best trade as well. So Wildfire and Flames, but like I said, other people are playing that other spec with the Bracers with Wildfire Blaster Master, so you could also go ahead and give that a try as well. Boom! Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think everybody's up to date on the Mage. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Thumbs down the video if you didn't. Can do a Rogue update. I haven't been playing a ton of my Priest. I haven't been playing Frost Mage or Arcade Mage either. So Fire Mage update. I might have a Rogue update on the way. We just hit 2.5K and 2v2 on Roastmaster X. If you guys want to see some Roastmaster X content, let me know down below in the comments as well. If you don't want to see Roastmaster X, maybe keep that to yourself, because I'm going to be offended if you guys don't want to see that, all right? Now, you could tell me... You can tell me if you don't want to see Roastmaster, all right? But I want to post some Roastmaster on the channel, so let me know. That's some sub-rogue 2v2 gameplay. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.